Hey, what's going on, Sip Sip? So I have a question. Every time Donald Trump gets backed into a corner or he finds himself with a low accountability rating like he does now, he brings up the Insurrection Act. And that's not by accident. So January 6th is not just a day in history to Donald Trump, it's leverage. Why? Because when he brings it up or he brings up insurrection, it's a way to him to get his base fired up. It reframes accountability and shifts the eyesights from his indictments, his poor rating, and the job that he's doing, and from his policy. But the real question is his leadership. While some of us must say that he's poor on democracy, yes, he is. Trump sees this insurrection as a loyalty test and how much power he can rein in and he can hold over the narrative or reframe the narrative and what people are putting out there. And the real question is, why are people not tired of hearing about this and, demanding that he let it go and he stop? Why? Because Donald Trump is one who he's basically, we just call it for what it is. He's basically a bully. You understand that? He's a bully. And he keeps bringing this Insurrection Act up because he truly wants to bring it up because he does it for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's signaling that he has law and order to his base because that's what he promised. He wants to continue with the rhetoric. It's a warning. So he keeps up the rhetoric. I'll enact it. He's testing the public and his institutional limits. So he's pushing the limits, with Congress, with the House, and with the public. And he keeps saying, I'm going to enact the Insurrection Act as a way of reasserting, hey, I have this power. And he also says it because he says it to his base. So the campaign message is that he's going to have law and order, and he's framing this fear because every time he says it, people are like, oh, 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 oh. He also does it because of this. Remember, I told you about the distraction, and he tries to control the agenda of what everybody's talking about. So what happened that it's not, or he doesn't just randomly say this. He's timed, and it's almost pinpointed because he's losing control. People are out here in the streets protesting because ICE has killed Miss Good, and he doesn't like protests. He sees it as a threat. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't see January 6th as a threat, but he sees that people are in the streets, his base, some people that oppose him, some people that didn't vote for him. He sees that as a threat. So he keeps saying, I'll enact it, I'll enact it. And he said, I heard that he said on ABC or one of those shows, well, 48% of the presidents have used the Insurrection Act. That's not true. Only 14 presidents have used the Insurrection Act in history. It's been used a total, I think, of 17 times. So only 29% of the presidents have used this act, and they used it back in the 60s when doing the civil rights movement, and I think they used it after the hurricane, and and after the hurricane and some other stuff. It hasn't been used, I think what this says, it hasn't been used since 1992, George Bush, right? It hasn't been used since 1992, but let him tell it. Half the presidents have used it, but Ronald Reagan used it back for the prison riots and when they had prison riots in Atlanta. John F. Kennedy, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, Warren G. Harding, Woodrow Wilson. So that goes back to who's used this. But he always says, 48% of the presidents have used it. Like that's a good thing. You understand what I'm saying? And the Insurrection Act is when he has the authority to send the military into the U.S. cities to control or to stop an insurrection like happened on January 6th. That's when we should have used it. You understand? Or the threat to what? What does it say? To rebellion and to enforce local laws to help local police when they can't control it. So he keeps saying that I'm going to send the Insurrection Act into Minneapolis where they don't want him. Local authorities are fine. You understand what I'm saying? And I told y'all on this channel that there were going to be more shootings. And guess what? The day after they shot Miss Good, they shot somebody else. But you heard it here first. So there have been 3 shootings, and 2 of them happen to be ICE agents. So he keeps saying that to put fear in y'all. So I don't know. I want some of you. Let me look at these stats. What does this say? 49% are male. I think 49% are male. So where are some of my males that voted for Donald Trump? Some of my melanated brothers. Where are y'all? Y'all are very quiet. Yeah, I said y'all are very quiet now. Y'all didn't want Kamala Harris. So let me hear from some of you brothers. I like to see what y'all have to say. Again, this is Sip, Smoke, and Share with Ronnie. I'm just giving you what I think about, how I process things. So I want to hear from some of the brothers. Drop a comment. Sip, Smoke, and Share. Y'all have a good one. Sip, sip. Let me hear from you Trump supporters, you African-American Negro Trump supporters. Sip, sip.